Hi, so we're going to go over a quick lesson on central angles and major, minor, and semicircles. We're going to be talking about how we know that the circle has 360 degrees and that we know that each of these pieces here are arcs. So if I take out a piece of the circle, so for example from E to A, if I take that out, it's not just, it's kind of like removing the pizza crust in a sense. And so we know that this measurement here is, we have a measurement in degrees because the whole thing is 360. So we're going to try to figure out what relationships we can use to see how many degrees it is from E to A. So that's really kind of the goal for this short little lesson here. A major arc is any arc that is measured above or greater than 360 degrees, okay? So this measurement is greater than, 180 degrees. A minor arc is going to be less than 180 degrees, and a semicircle is exactly 180 degrees. Okay, so if we have an arc that's measurement is greater than 180 degrees, it's a major arc. Less than 180 is a minor arc, and exactly 180 is a semicircle. Now, a central angle is any angle whose vertex, the corner of that angle, is right here on the center of the circle. So this right here would be a central angle because the vertex of this angle is on the center of this circle. So right here would be the central angle. And we know that by definition we have the central angle is equal to the measurement of its arc. So if I know the arc measurement, I know the angle measurement. If I know the angle, I know the arc because they are equal. One piece of one part of the circle that will help us determine the measurements of central angles and their arcs are going to be diameters, because diameters cut the circle in half. So that helps us out with some of the measurements that we're going to have to do. So let me erase these markings, and I'm just going to go through these examples that are at the bottom of this page here, because I really do think that that's what's going to help us the most. Now, before we do any of these, anytime you're given a problem like this, my suggestion is to go ahead and fill in the pieces. It's really easier to gather information if you have all of the measurements together. So we're going to use some of the properties and the angles that we already know how to find in order to solve this. So we know that AD is a diameter. Wow, okay, so that was really, I can do better than that. That was an awful line, y'all. Sorry about that. Let me try again. Okay, and I might not be able to do better than that. So from A to D is a diameter. We also know that from E to C is also a diameter. Okay, so I know that this top half here is 180 degrees. This bottom half here is 180 degrees. I also know that this side right here is 180 degrees, and this side is also 180 degrees. So looking right here, I can see that these three sectors, these three pieces, have to add up to 180. And if I know two pieces are 70, then all I have to do is add them together and subtract it. So I would do 180 minus 60 minus 70, and I would see that this piece right here is 50 degrees. So I'm going to write 50 degrees. Okay. Now, another thing that I can see is that above the blue line, I still have three sectors. So I have a 60 and a 50, and I can do the same thing to find the third piece. So I can do 180 minus 60 minus 50, and I get 70 degrees. Something else I want you to note is that we do have vertical angles right here. And we know that vertical angles are congruent from unit 2. So I have vertical angles right here. Now to the left of the red line right here, these two pieces make up the other half circle. So I can do 180 minus 70, and I can see that this angle has to be 110 degrees. I know that I got it right. The way that I check myself to see if I got it right is to add up all of your angles. The magic number we need is 360. If we can get 360, then we know that we added up all of these angles correctly, and they do. Now, we know that the central angles are equal to their arcs. So if this is 60, then this has to be 60 as well. And if this is 50 degrees, this has to be 50 degrees from B to C. If this angle is 70 degrees, then from C to D has to be 70 degrees. And this arc right here has to be 110 because of the angle being 110. And then this arc right here also has to be 70 degrees. Okay, so now I have all the information I need. So I'm going to switch to a highlighter for just a second, and we're going to determine how to figure out if an arc is a minor arc and what the measurement is. So looking at these directions, it says determine whether the indicated arc is a minor, major, or semicircle, and then find its measure. So if I'm looking from A to B, first off, let me move this a little bit. Okay. So if I'm looking from A to B, so I'm going from A to B, right? I can see that that's 60 degrees, and 60 degrees is less than 180. So this has to be a minor arc. You know what? That's going to take way too long to do, so I'm just going to type this in. So this is going to be a minor, and we can see this will be 60 degrees. Looking at number 2, BC, I'm going to go from B to C, and I can see that this measurement is 50 degrees. So therefore, it has to be a minor arc because it too is less than 180 degrees. Going from E to D. Going from E to D right here is 110 degrees, and that's also less than 180 degrees. So this is going to be here, and it's 110. AC, if I'm going from A to C. Now, I want you to look at this. If I'm going from A to C, it doesn't matter that I'm going to go to B as well. It just means I got to go the shortest distance from A to C. So I have to add these two pieces up, and I get 110 degrees, which is also less than 180. So even though it's two pieces, essentially, even though it looks like it's two pieces, it's still a minor arc because those two pieces add up to less than 180 degrees. Now let's look at EDB. EDB means that I have to start at E, and I have to go to D before I can go to B. So this forces my direction, because D is here and B is here. If I had gone the other way, I would have gotten to B first, and this order tells me I have to go to D first. So if I add up those pieces, I can see that that's greater than 180 degrees. So my arc here is just going to be 230 degrees, which makes it a major arc. The next one I have is ACE. So I'm going to start at A, and I have to go to C first, then E. So I'm going to take my highlighter, and I'm just getting a little more colorful here. But from A to E, that means that I had to go through all 4 of these sectors. I could not go the other way because I would have gotten to E first, and because of this order, it tells me I had to go to C first. So this is a major, and this is going to be 290 degrees. All right, so for this number 7, I have to start at A again, and I'm going to go to B, and then I'm going to go to D. So here, I'm going to go from A, B, and I'm stopping down here at D. Now this right here I can see is a semicircle. It's exactly 180 degrees. So that's a semi, and it's 180 degrees. This next one, we have CAD. So I'm going to start at C, and I'm going to go back the other way. C, A, and then all the way around to D. Again, I have to go that way because it wants me to go to A first. The order absolutely matters. And again, we have a major with 290 degrees. And then CDE. So for CDE, we start at C, and then we go to D, and then we go to E, and that's also a semicircle. So for this, we just need to keep in mind that if it's less than 180, it's a minor. If it's greater than 180, it's a major. If it's exactly 180, then it's a semicircle. And then we also need to see that when you are checking to see if you got all your measurements right, they should add up to 360 degrees. And we have to use diameters to cut up the circle a little bit so we can find the correct angle measurements. For a central angle, we know that angle equals the arc. So if you have the arc, you know the angle. If you have the angle, you know the arc. It's a central angle if and only if the vertex of that angle is on the center of the circle.